Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Randy. Are you ready for an adventure?
Come see our journey today as we visit the Ronald Reagan Library for the Cowboy exhibit.
Roy Rogers. Maybe.
Trigger.
Using downtown Los Angeles as a reference point, we travel 52 miles northwest to the town of Simi Valley, California, to visit the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. If you enjoy this video, hitting the like button helps our analytics. It truly does. Well, we finally made it over to Simi Valley to the Cowboys exposition at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. The library typically runs different exhibitions that last about 6 months or more. With this exhibition, it's all about the cowboy and a journey through reality and the cinematic allure of all the cowboys. The reason that this is a part of the Reagan Library is Ronald Reagan portrayed cowboys during his acting career in both television and movies.
So the first guitar is the Neil McCoy guitar and his cowboy hat, or in it. Buck Owens guitar, right there. And this is a God Bless the USA autograph by Lee Greenwood. Are you listening to two?
And here is Ronald Reagan's costume in the 1947 film Stallion Road, which starred Ronald Reagan, Alexis Smith, and Zachary Scott.
This is our national treasures, the Cowboys History of Hollywood.
Howdy. Welcome.
At the main entrance to the exhibition, they have you stop and take a picture, which you can purchase in the gift shop at the end of your visit, which of course Christina made sure we did.
Look at that chuck wagon.
There were all types of exhibits set up to depict all aspects of the cowboy's life. This one was the typical log cabin. And then there's an exhibit about all the different types of saddles through the ages. The exhibit of cowboy boots showed how the boots evolved to meet the needs of the cowboys.
Here we have the cowboy boots and spurs when they were bronco busting. We got a Colt single action on the top. Colt 1873 revolver with spotted money belt. Somebody got a money belt. Smith & Wesson, and then another Colt single action.
The camera that won the West. For a while, the Mitchell camera became virtually the only camera used to make films in Hollywood. For over 30 years, it was durable enough to handle most anything a director needed to do. Many of these cameras faced explosions, crashes, fight scenes, and natural disasters. Every film from 1919 to 1960 used this kind of a camera.
Here we have an actual buffalo coat. Before the cattle drives, older cow towns, places where buffaloes' hides were sold and shipped to the east. Buffalo hunters sold over 200,000 hides in Dodge City alone between 1872 and 1873. We're talking of 1 year. This is RD and L stock. Wow, that's a very cool exhibit. What a beautiful saddle. Is that his? Oh yeah, RR. This is Ronald Reagan. That was his little two-seater. Look at that. Another song. Home, home on the range. Look at here's the rifle. I'm having too much fun. I'm having too much fun. Here's for the roping of the cattle. This should say, don't trust your neighbor, brand your cattle. Because that's what they did. They branded their cattle so that Will Rogers. Oh, Will Rogers? Branding iron. Wow. Look at that. President Reagan's 1960 Willie Jeep. There's a lot of Willies around the now. Look at that. Oh, they actually put seatbelts in them so you can stay in the car. Otherwise, you'd be bounced right out. This is the front of the Jeep here. Look at, here's a winch. This is how they would round up their cattle. They actually have a whole area here with dirt.
Commercial helicopters were used after World War II and became even more common after the Vietnam War to manage herds of cattle.
See, they're rounding up the cattle right there.
There was also an entire area dedicated to the rodeo cowboy. Picture, there's the barrel.
So the bulls would not gouge them. This was put on by Coors and Wrangler. How cool is this? It's a real rodeo barrel. Yeah, see how they jump in?
And there was a free shooting gallery for all ages to enjoy.
I think I've done this before in my past life. Oh, look at this. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I got them all.
You've got them all.
And he didn't like it at all that his brother was getting involved emotionally with the people of Tombstone and doing the right thing. Which is like, no, this thing's getting out of control. What was going on at that time in Tombstone?
And there was an exhibit dedicated to the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell's gun belt and spurs also included.
Look at that. It says Wyatt Earp right there on the thing, on the
Compensating.
handle.
That was the first example of organized crime that turned that once. What? I mean, really. And he hadn't. The whole Western United States, at least, he did very.
Debbie Reynolds' costume from Annie Get Your Gun. Debbie Reynolds starred in a national tour of Annie Get Your Gun in the 1970s.
That is her costume. She was just a little thing. There he goes.
The Lone Ranger was played by Clayton Moore. The Lone Ranger was a former Texas Ranger that survived being ambushed by outlaws. After that, he wore a mask to fight for justice in the Old West alongside his companion Tonto. And when he would leave, people would say, "Who was that masked man?" Why, it's the Lone Ranger.
And that's like his Ranger button. Ranger. Oh, look at the bullet. That's cool. A suit owned by Clayton Moore. He was a bowling cowboy. It's a bowling cowboy hat with a ruby and a diamond in his hat. Moore continued his appearance on Lone Ranger and charity events for the rest of his life. But when he delighted children in his attendances, he would wear the suit. And Randy said every time he wore the suit when he made his public appearance with children. And then a coin-operated mechanical horse. Man, I remember those. I think they were started off at 10 cents. They gave the children in front of Kmart's all across the country the opportunity to feel like a cowboy. It's so cool.
Hey, you know what this is from?
Oh, nope.
Nope. Nope. Ricky Jupe.
Ricky Jupe Park, his cowboy costume. From Nope. Nope.
Ricky Jupe is a character in Jordan Peele's movie called Nope. And here's the costume.
There you go. Look at that. What? There's a John Wayne hat from Honda? No way. That's so cool. Look at, oh my gosh. Look at the hole in it. He wore that thing till he sweat to death on his head. Oh, Jim Arness. Oh, and he signed it.
James Arness played Marshal Matt Dillon in the program Gunsmoke on TV, which ran for 635 episodes over 20 seasons. Still on TV to this day.
Marshal Dillon.
Here's Clint Eastwood's costume from Pale Rider.
Clint Eastwood's costume from Pale Rider. Oh my goodness gracious.
Got a good collection. Clint Eastwood played a traveling preacher in the 1985 film.
Outlaw of Jesse Wales, and his Colt Dragoons revolver.
The outlaw Josie Wells was not only starred by Clint Eastwood, but also directed by him. Whoever got a good collection of Clint Eastwood stuff. John Wayne warned the Cowboys.
But this was Debbie Reynolds' parade saddle. Isn't that pretty cool? That's her parade saddle.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, somebody has a really nice collection, as Randy said. Look at all that bling. Look at the Mickey Mouse cowboy doll from 1930s.
Yeah, that's cool too. Frontierland.
And then Frontierland, themed pins. Teddy Roosevelt, who was played by Robin Williams, Night at the Museum.
Robin Williams was in Night at the Museum in 2014.
And he's on the horse. He's riding around. That is so cool.
In the 1990 film Back to the Future 3, Michael J. Fox starred as Marty McFly, where he played a cowboy when he went back in time to 1885.
Marty McFly's Western costume. I have that shirt.
Well, a replica.
I have a replica of that shirt.
That's a real one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's got
The fringe.
the buttons in the fringe. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the flux capacitor.
In 1944, Dale Evans and Roy Rogers began a personal and professional partnership. What is that?
Oh my goodness. Look at those boobs. She looks about my size. Size 5 or 6.
He is actually
Oh,
skinny little bit.
these were made from nudies.
Yeah. Nudies are more Hollywood.
Yeah. Wow. Here's his bandana, Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers was known as the King of the Cowboys. Republic Pictures discovered Roy in 1937, and after that he became one of the most popular Western stars. Roy Rogers' horse was named Trigger. Trigger learned over 100 tricks, earning him the name the smartest horse in the movies. Howdy. Howdy. Here.
Wait a minute. Who's Buttermilk? This is Buttermilk.
Buttermilk is Dale Evans.
Okay. And this is Bullet. And then you got Trigger.
Buttermilk was a buckskin quarter horse that appeared in movies and television with Dale Evans. Buttermilk was born in 1941 and died in October of 1972. Buttermilk was 31 years old. Trigger was a Palomino horse that lived from July 1934 to July 1965. He passed away at 30 years old. Bullet was Roy and Dale's German Shepherd and was known as Bullet the Wonder Dog. Bullet appeared in television and in many movies with Roy Rogers. He lived from 1949 to 1964. After the animals passed away, Roy Rogers arranged for Biscoff Taxidermy to preserve them for all time for his museum.
Thank you for exploring the rich history and enduring legend of Cowboys in the Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. Like President Reagan, Cowboys remain a powerful and positive influence in the fabric of our American culture. We hope you enjoyed your visit here at Cowboys History of Hollywood.
After seeing the Cowboys exhibit, we headed back into the Presidential Library to see the hologram of President Reagan.
Marine One will be landing momentarily, bringing the President and First Lady home to what many call the People's House. The White House grounds occupy 18 acres, and one of its most famous features is the South Lawn. The familiar lawn has served many purposes.
And it was torn down.
Sheep grazed here as late as Woodrow Wilson's term. Children enjoy the annual Easter egg hunt, restored to the South Lawn by Nancy Reagan in 1981.
Mr. President, your cabinet meeting will be starting shortly.
Thanks. Welcome to the Oval Office. Though I spent years in this office, I never thought of it as mine. I was just the latest temporary occupant in a long and distinguished line. Earlier still, Queen Victoria presented the magnificent desk to President Rutherford B. Hayes. Crafted from the timbers of Her Majesty's ship, Resolute, is an enduring symbol of friendship. While I loved the desk, I must admit that it wasn't perfect. In fact, carpenters had to raise the desk a couple of inches. It was either that, or I would have had to lower my knees. The cumulative weight of so much history is inescapable. One feels surrounded by illustrious predecessors. So much so, in fact, that out of respect for this office and the events which have transpired in it, I almost never remove my suit coat. Of course, you can take your work seriously without taking yourself that way. Among the signs on the desk is one that reads, "There is no limit to what a man can do or where he can go if he doesn't mind who gets the credit." Not a bad philosophy, especially in Washington, D.C., a city of tall monuments and even taller egos. Still, the Oval Office is much more than a bully pulpit. In many ways, it is a mirror held up to the American people. I look forward to meet a cross-sampling of American heroes, whether that's throwing a ball, protecting a neighborhood or hugging a child. And the world came calling as well. Mother Teresa visited this room. So did Margaret Thatcher and Mikhail Gorbachev. Unfortunately, for all the power possessed by an American president, there are some things beyond his control. Here I met with hostages newly released from the hell of Beirut. I'll never forget the feeling of horror that accompanied the explosion of the Challenger space shuttle. Or the morning I invited congressional leaders over to hear a tape recording of a Soviet pilot locking on to the ill-fated Korean flight 007. It still chills my blood to think of those 269 innocent passengers. And it was here that I first learned of Nancy's impending cancer surgery. So you see, you don't just give speeches in the Oval Office. You also say prayers. Above all, you pray for peace.
Mr. President, your meeting is starting.
So, goodbye, and God bless you.
So out of respect, please no food or drink beyond this point. And we are ready to pay our respects to Ronald and Nancy.
Before we left, we visited Ronald Reagan's gravesite and paid our respects. If you're interested in seeing the entire Reagan library, we have a video available on our channel. If you enjoyed our vlog, please subscribe.
And ring that notification bell.
And give us a like, it lets us know you care.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Did you feel that? It felt like an earthquake as Ronald Reagan turned over in his grave.
Ba-dum-bum.